Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to use if this then that in conjunction with Twitter and Google Drive to have a log created of all of your new followers. And there's multiple reasons why this is an awesome thing to do, but what's incredibly helpful about it is having an easy way to periodically go through and vet the new followers that you have so that you can see if there's someone you'd like to follow back. So what I've done for the purposes of this video is I'm creating a brand new if this then that account. I already am logged into Twitter and I'm also already logged into Gmail since we'll be using Google Drive. So here let's go to if this then that. And because this is a brand new account, I am actually going to have to connect what if this then that refers to as channels. Those two channels being Twitter and Gmail. All right, so from if this then that, I'm going to go ahead and click if this, so then that, and this is just their little intro-y thing. So let's go ahead and click continue and continue. And the channels I want to go ahead and connect, Twitter. And again, I'm already logged into Twitter, but I am going to still need to connect them. And apparently you need to pick at least 3. All right, let this think up its magic here. And then up here in the search bar, which may be challenging to see just based on where I have the cropping for the video, I am going to search for Twitter followers, and let's see if we can find it this way. Yes, here we go. New Twitter followers in a Google spreadsheet. All right. Let's go ahead and connect the Twitter channel. And I'm going to authorize the app. All right. Let's go ahead and connect the Google Drive channel. Allow. Let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Okay, so now the recipe is created. I'm going to go ahead and click here on recipes, my recipes, and we can see that this is all set up. I'm going to go ahead and ask it to run. It's probably not going to pick anything up right away. And so what I'd like to do though too is I'd like to edit this because I don't actually like the way they first do this. New Twitter, I'm going to say new Twitter followers because later if I'm looking for this spreadsheet in Google Drive, I want it to actually mean something. So followed, we don't care. I don't care in this case about their profile image because it doesn't really look all that great in Google spreadsheets anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And full name, I do want that. The about location could be handy. However, for the purposes of what I find most useful, and of course you do this whatever is most useful for you, is I'd like to see the link to their profile before I see the location, following count, etc., etc. So you can modify this pre-created recipe to fit your particular needs. All you need to know is between each merge field, you need to have these 3 pipeline symbols and make sure you have a space. Here, this little magical beaker is what contains all the ingredients to do these different things. So what you're seeing in this box here came from that little blue thing. However, it was already pre-filled in because we're using a recipe someone else started and we're just taking it and saying we'd like to use it ourselves. This field here is saying, well, what folder on Google Drive would you like this to go to? And it chose if this then that / Twitter. Perfect, I don't mind at all. Update this. I'm going to go over here to Google Drive. Let's see if we possibly have something Any goodies in here? Thinking. All right, thanks, Google. And let's see what happens. Oh, this is a really, really old, that's back in the days of row feeder when they were around. However, they are no longer around. Okay, so nothing's populated yet, which is understandable. We just set this up after all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I've been using this for a while and actually have one that is pretty active. So you can see this is what happens. And I'm going to enlarge these fields so that everything, you can read this a little bit easier rather than the default. So I can see here, for example, March 6th, principles of execute is the name. Here's their bio. Here's their profile. If I'd actually like to go out and look at this, and this is either their followers or following, it's one of the two, which in my case isn't necessarily relevant. However, I do allow it to come through because, let's say, for example, this person, this is a potential red flag account that I'd probably want to give a little bit more attention to. But in any event, this way now I can look at just a glance. I do care most about people's bios. In this particular case, we help organizations develop a culture that works, a bunch of hashtags, probably their website URL. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this profile to see if I'd actually like to follow them back. I do like to make sure that people are tweeting on a regular basis, make sure they're kind of active before I actually decide to follow them. And I guess in this case, that's fine. But let's look at this person here, the one I said that is kind of a red flag. So this bio for this person, need more followers? We offer professional service, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I absolutely do not want to follow someone like that. I'm not in the business of buying followers and certainly not my gig. So if, for example, you had a virtual assistant who is helping you vet and follow new people on your Twitter account, or maybe if you do social media for other clients, you could very easily, for example, just create a new one that says, whatever short code you'd like, followed 32516. In this case, my initials, spam, or whatever you want. So this could be a way that you can monitor the progress of who's following you on Twitter, and then when they were vetted, and if you have a virtual assistant helping you, who actually did the work and when they did it. And once your spreadsheet fills up with enough lines in Google Drive, because I believe they only allow 2,000 rows, maybe, if this then that will automatically go ahead and create a brand new spreadsheet. As you can tell here, new followers 1. So this is the very first document. This is the second one. So if this then that is great about doing that. If for some reason there is an error, if this then that typically will send you an email notification that there's a problem with your connection. However, I have had instances where that does not happen. So I would suggest that you check if this then that recipes on a regular basis to make sure that they are indeed still running if they should be. And you can always do that by going to your My Recipes tab. And eventually you'll start seeing that when this was last run, and if you see a date that's really old, then you know there's probably a problem and you need to edit your recipe. I hope that all of this, in this case, again, using if this, then that to connect your Twitter account to Google Drive in order to create a spreadsheet of all of the new followers you have on your Twitter account, has been useful and will help you be a little bit more efficient with your social media management. Have a great day.